Okay, we're in 1-2. This is called solving linear equations. Okay, here's an easy one. X plus 2 equals 7. X equals 5. Why? Because I subtract 2 to both sides. Bing, bang, boom. It's not hard. Okay, so pay attention. Here we go. Joshua is going kayaking with a group during one of his vacation days. In his vacation planning, he budgeted $50 for a kayak rental. You rent it for an hour, 15. A sea kayak, 18 an hour. Double kayak, 25 an hour. How can Joshua determine the number of hours he can rent a kayak for himself? Okay, two different options. Well, the most obvious one is make equations. Okay, we're making equations. All right, so here we go. For example, per hour, we can say H is every hours. So number of hours you rent it. So like, I don't know, 15x, 18x, 25x, or not x, but we'll call it h, essentially. But it's straightforward. Okay, h, straightforward. But there's a $25 non-refundable equipment fee. Okay, how does you? You're adding 25 to each equation. Okay, so keep that in mind. So in other words, 15h plus 25, 18h plus 25, 25h plus 25. And this all has to equal 50 because that's how much you're allowed to spend. Okay, there you go. We took care of part A and B. We'll skip part C because we need to get to this. Okay, remember, when we solve linear equations, we need to work backwards. That's important. Okay, so let's look at these two ways that we're solving this equation here. Oh no, there's a fraction and there's an x on top of the fraction. It's not difficult. Work backwards, okay? Notice this right here, okay? We multiplied everything by 3 to get rid of the fraction. That's fine, okay? You have to do the same thing here on this one too, though, okay? But notice here, we added 8 first to get 40. Then I multiplied by 3 to each side. We still get the same answer though. It does not matter as long as you work backwards, or if you want to choose to get rid of the fraction, that's your choice. Whatever you want to do first, okay? So let's look at this right here, okay? Not difficult, okay? 4 plus 3x minus 1 over 2 is equal to 9, okay? Let's subtract 4 from both sides first, okay? Let's actually do that first. So I'm going to do this in this color, vomit green, minus 4, minus 4. Okay, I get 3x minus 1 over 2 equals 5. Now I'm going to multiply everything by 2 to get rid of the fraction. Okay, so now I have this. Okay, I have 3x minus 1 is equal to 10. Now the fraction goes bye-bye. Okay, so now my next step is I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Okay. 3x equals 11. You can leave your answer as a fraction if you want. Divide both sides by 3. X equals 11 over 3. That's it. You're done. Not difficult. You need to work backwards. Very important that you work backwards. Okay, here we go. Moving on. Next page. Okay. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is 132, okay? Well, I'll give you an example of consecutive integers, like 3, 4, 5, right? It's the difference of 1 more than the previous one. So notice how the first integer is x, the next one x plus 1, the next one x plus 2, okay? When you add all those up, you get 132. Add all the x's, add all the constants, you get 3x plus 3, and then you solve for x. Notice how you're subtracting 3, then dividing by 3 at the end, okay? Now let's focus on odd integers. Okay, odd is 2x plus 1, okay? And then vice versa. You're adding 2 more to each number, right? So like 2x plus 3, okay, as an example, and then 2x plus 5 as another example, okay? The same goes for even. I'll put this here on this side. Even, 2x plus 2, and then 2x plus 4 as examples, okay? If you want 3 consecutive even integers. Okay, so if I want to find the sum of the 3 consecutive odd integers equaling to 57, what are the odd integers? Well, let's figure it out, okay? Let's do this on this, essentially. Okay, let's move the paper up. It's actually, do a little bit of this. Can move that down and bing, bang, boom. Okay, here we go. 2x plus 1 plus 2x plus 3 plus 2x plus 5. Okay, that's the third, that's the second, that's the first. It adds to 57. Let's add all the x's. 6x. Let's add all the numbers. You get 9. That adds to 57. I subtract 9. X is going to be 8. But that's not the answer, though. Okay, yeah, we found x, but I got to plug it into here. So 2 times 8 plus 1, that's going to be 17. So it's 17, then 19, then 21. Those are the three odd numbers. When you add all those together, you get 57. Okay? Any questions there? Okay, first odd number, second odd number, third odd number, add all those up, you get 57. Now solve for x. Then find the three odd numbers. Bing, bang, boom, no hay nada más. Okay, a lab technician needs 25 liters. This is actually a little difficult, so pay attention here. A lab technician needs 25 liters of a solution that's 15% acid of a certain experiment, but she's only got a solution that's 10% acid and a solution that's 30% acid, okay? How many liters of the 10 and the 30 in order to get 25 gallons of the 15% solution? Okay, so notice this, okay? For x gallons, it's 0.1x of the 10% solution added with 30%, but then it's 25 minus whatever we used at the end, okay? That's equal to 15% of 25 total gallons that we want. Okay, from there, we just easily solve for x. Distribute, and then bing, bang, boom. It's not difficult. Okay, here we go. Same idea. Okay, same idea. Okay, you want now instead of 25, 30. You want 30 liters of a 25% solution. So how many of the 10 and the 30 do we need? So here we go. It's not difficult. Okay, so we have 30 gallons of the 25%. So 0.25. Remember, we got to convert it as a decimal. Okay. So now I've got 10% of the X amount, okay? And the X represents the amount of the 10%, but now I've got 30%, okay? And it's 30 minus X. So now let's solve for X. Okay, I don't have a calculator with me, so guess what we get to use? Good old Desmos to figure it out. 30 times 0.25, okay? 0.25, it's 7.5, okay? So it's going to be 7.5 equals 0.1x plus, this is going to be not 0.9, 9.0 or just 9. Okay, so it's 9.0 and then minus 0.3x. Now let's solve for x. I'm going to combine the x's on this side here. 7.5 is equal to negative 0.2x plus 9, because 9.0 and 9 are the same. I subtract the 9 from both sides. That's negative 1.5 equals 0.2x, and that's negative. When I divide negative 1.5 by negative 0.2, let's find it. Okay, negative 1.5. Okay, divided by negative 2, or negative 0.2 rather. 7.5. So therefore, it's 7.5. Okay, x equals 7.5. Voila. But then I need the 30 minus x1. Okay, so that means 30 minus 7.5, that is going to be 22.5. So I need 7.5 and then 22.5 to add to 30. Okay, not that bad. You just need to make the equation. Not that difficult. Here we go. Moving on. This example, okay? 4 friends use an online coupon to get discounts on concert tickets. They spent $312 for the 4 tickets. What was the price of 1 ticket without the discount? Okay, so we need to figure out the discount. Okay, but we spent $312. Okay, and it was what's it called? The discount was about $15 a pop. Okay, it looks like. Okay, we spent $312. Essentially, we need to write an equation for this, okay? Well, we spent 4 tickets of the original price minus $15 equaling $312. We easily solve for P. We can divide by 4 first or distribute. They chose to divide by 4. We got 78, add 15. The original price was $93. Let's do it on here. The same 4 friends buy tickets for 2 shows on consecutive nights. They use a coupon for $5 off each ticket, and they paid a total of $416 for the 8 tickets, okay? So $416 equals 8 multiplied by P minus 5 because the coupon was $5. Let's divide by 8 first to get rid of the 8 next to the P minus 5, okay? So 416 divided by 8, 52. So therefore, it's 52, okay? Equals P minus 5. The original price was $57. Voila, that's it. Okay, so the answer was 57. Okay, here we go. Moving on. Next example. Latanya will walk her bike from her house to the bike shop, which is 1.5 miles from her house, to get the bike fixed. She expects to wait 30 minutes for the repair. Then she's got to ride her bike home. Can she be home in 1 hour? Notice how she bikes at 10 miles an hour, and then she can also walk at 3 miles an hour. Okay, so we need to figure out the total time, and T represents the total time. Okay, here we go. So 1.5 miles at 3 miles an hour, and then you're a half hour at the shop, and then 1.5 miles for 10 miles an hour of biking. Will it add to an hour? No, because if you notice, 1.15 is what our final answer is. Not the case. Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, she bikes it, same thing. Leaves at 12:30, bikes at 12 miles an hour to Martha's house. She stays at Martha's house for 90 minutes. Both girls walk back to Latanya's house along the same route at 2.5 miles an hour. They arrive at 3:30. How far is Martha's house from Latanya's house? So we don't know the total distance. Okay, that we don't know. So we need to figure out the total distance. So notice this right here. We know the distance from the biking place. It was 1.5 miles. So when I make my fractions, okay, here we go. Okay, so she leaves her house at 12:30. Okay, so and then she stays at Martha's house for 90 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna call this first part X over 12, right? X minutes at 12 miles an hour. Okay, then we're gonna add 90 minutes, but remember 90 is 1.5 hours. So I'm gonna call this 1.5. Okay, and then plus it's gonna be X over 2.5, and that's gonna equal from 12:30 to 3:30, 3 total hours, because from 12:30 to 3:30, that's 3 total hours. Okay, let's do something easy. Okay, I'm gonna move the 1.5 to this side by subtraction. X over 12 plus X over 2.5, that's equal to 1.5. I subtracted 1.5 from both sides. Okay, and what I can do is I can actually get rid of all the fractions by multiplying by the common denominator, and that's going to be 12 and 2.5. Because why? The 12 goes bye-bye, but not the 2.5. I'm going to put the work on this side, okay? That's 2.5x plus 12x equals 1.5 times 12 times 2.5. Let's do that real quick, okay? Here we go. 1.5 times 12. Oops. Let's do this. Times 12 times 2.5, 45. So I know that it's going to equal 45. Okay, so that's equal to 45. Okay, I'm going to add 2.5 with 12. That's going to be 14.5. X equals 45. Divide 45 by 14.5 to get the final answer. Okay, 45 divided by 14.5. There you go. Oops, that's not what I wanted. 14.5. Okay, it's about 3.1 miles. So they live about 3.1 miles away. Okay, so it's about 3.1 miles. So 3.1 miles. Voila. Okay, that should cover that there. Any questions on this? Let me know. All that fun stuff. Okay, there's your concept summary, yada, yada. Again, you need to know how to make equations. Okay, it's all about balancing your equations. All right, so get to it. Lesson 1-2 should be done and good to go. Enjoy and have fun.